Welcome to today's live interview with somebody who's been on our live before. So just give
Yep.
everybody a quick introduction about who you are, where are you located, what's up with your business, fill everybody in, and then we'll go straight into today's live training.
Of course, of course. So first of all, thank you for having me. I'm always so excited to be able to talk with you guys. Like you said, I've been a customer of you guys for years. Love this program, and I always honestly enjoy just, coming out and doing these kind of interviews. So my name is Shireen Dickens. I am the owner of the Finishing Touch NYC commercial and residential cleaning services. As the name indicates, we are located in New York City. My office is literally right in Midtown. I'm on 30th and Broadway. I've been in business for about almost 8 years now. My specialty is commercial cleaning. We do residential, but I'm like 90% commercial, 10% residential. So that is my niche out here in New York City. We handle offices, schools, all types of retail stores, places like Lululemon, CVS, everything like that, everything in between. So that's just a little bit about me.
You've done things that a lot of people are watching today's live want to accomplish and want to do and get to. I'm not even going to go into some cool things Shireen's got in store, traveling and doing all these cool things that a lot of you business owners are watching this want to get to. And to get to this point, the live today is going to cover something that has allowed Shireen to travel, do cool things, have fun. But she first had to discover and actually started to implement what we're going to cover today's training,
Yep.
which is how to hire and train A+ like cleaners, people that can
Yep.
take over these contracts and work for you, so you can go ahead and be a real business owner.
Right now, immediately. If you're a new business owner and you're starting out, the time to hire is now, because for one, you can't grow your business with just yourself, right? There's a ceiling you're going to hit trying to do all of anything by yourself. So even if you can only budget out for someone, because as a new company, you don't have millions of dollars. You know what I mean? Your budget is very important to you. But in the beginning, you're gonna have to break even or even take a loss on a job or two in order to bring someone on. Even if you start off with 10, 15 hours a week, bring someone on immediately. That is a mistake. It is an oversight for me. When I started my business, I didn't hire my first person until about a year or so in. And had I gone back to start over today, I would hire someone immediately. So what I would do is another thing, charge your clients up front, right? So initially you're gonna have to go out and take a few jobs, maybe, stash $500, put away something that's gonna be enough to cover your cleaner initially. Because guess what? I didn't start with a whole bunch of money either. I was working a job making $12 an hour, and I had to save my weekly paychecks to purchase supplies, to get my S Corp done legitimately, to pay for a uniform, even though it was only myself, So I understand that coming into the business, you're not rich. Charge your clients up front. That will help you with cash flow. So if you say, if it's me, I just started my business today on Friday, and I have $100. That's all. I'm gonna go and do about 3 jobs by myself, cleaning, and keep that money, save at least a third of each of that money to provide for a cleaner to work with me, or for not even a cleaner, because the first position that you're going to need is going to be more of in a management position. But you can't, you're not going to be able to start them off with, $70,000 salary plus benefits. No, you'll start them off at an hourly rate a little bit more than you're comfortable with. And the reason that I say that, in New York City, hourly minimum is $15 an hour. I start my cleaners at 17. I'll start my managers at 20. If I had to go back, I would start with a manager at that 20 per hour. And what I would do is take on a few jobs, charge my clients up front, so that creates a cash flow for you immediately, and put up for that role. Make sure that your role is clear and defined for exactly what you want them to do. I'm hiring you 20 hours per week at $20 per hour, that's going to cost me $400. So that means you'll know how much it costs. You'll know what kind of jobs, or you can take a few cleaning, take a few apartments, make that money, stash it. And then as you bring that manager on, they will create money for you, because now you'll be able to send them to do jobs without you, or have them manage other situations to save time for you to go out and get more jobs. Because as your CEO, your job is to keep jobs on the table for yourself and for others in your company. And that's the way that I would do if I was starting today. I would go, I'm in New York City, so I always play the numbers game. I'll knock on 100 doors. One of them is going to take my service for cleaning. You have to go at it that hard in the beginning. You know, you have to contact 100 people per day, whatever manner you have to do it, until you get jobs. Someone is going to take, once you do, you save some money, do your first 3 or 4 jobs by yourself. Make sure you keep at least a week's worth of this new person's pay up front, so that no matter what, you can already and always pay them, and then go from there. Same deal. Once you have them in the field, you can then spend your time. Now that you don't have to do all the work, maybe you can make 150 calls a day instead of 100, and make sure that you're still bringing in business for you and your new person to take on.
Wow. All right. Let's stop the live there. That was just absolutely, that's too much value. So much stuff going on in the last like minute and a half of you explaining this thing. And to be completely honest with you, everything you have said right there has answered 99% of a lot of new businesses question, which is like, when should I hire? And plus, like, cool, like if I were to hire, like, what is my game plan on how to pay them when I have nothing, right? Or even what my biggest suggestion is, like, you need to have something stacked aside when you start your business, you know, and that could be, you know, for example, what you mentioned was like, hey, work 3 to 4 jobs, gather some money, right? Put in your pocket. Don't go and spend it. Don't go and live like, you know, like you're a boss or anything like that. You're not. You're still in the pretty much process of starting up, right? To save that money and be able to actually allocate it towards somebody else. Would you go straight into getting everything set up for a W-2, or would you go into a 1099 until it becomes more consistent? What route would you personally go into?
So if I had to start over, initially, I would do 1099 until it's more consistent. Initially, I started out with putting everyone on payroll. And to be honest, that was a bit overwhelming for me. One of the biggest things I had to do was payroll every week once I gained, you know, employees. So I would 1099 initially. Now, there are pros and cons to 1099 versus W-2. Whatever state you are in, you have to look up your state laws in regards to what 1099 employees can and can't do and what W-2 employees can and can't do. That's the main difference. 1099 employees, since they are contractors, we can't give them a step-by-step of what we expect them to do. We need to have a contract with them, which is the difference with employees, which you can go and say, do. But for me, if a new business, I would start off with 1099, just so that it doesn't put the pressure on you as a business owner to be like, all right, I have to put in 40 hours for this new person. No, you explain to people like, hey, I need flexible hours and this is what I'll be able to do for you. And, you know, the 1099 just makes that a bit easier to start up. Until I would say I would 1099 it until I had 5 steady employees or about 15 steady contracts.
Gotcha. And then that's when you start to slowly move them into a W-2.
I would transition them to W-2 and payroll employees.
Train and I aren't accountants. We do not do anything in regards to finances. We just run businesses, and we have lawyers and also accountants to guide us in this direction. Yes. But we're both smart enough and pretty much intelligent enough to go on Google to do our own research to give you guys this, obviously, our suggestions and what we feel like would be best.
We've got the traditional routes, right? Craigslist, Indeed, the other places that you put out for jobs. But one thing a lot of people don't know, a resource that we can use, is our city and state government. Our city and state government has a whole cache of people looking to work. That's everyone who files unemployment must go through the government to look for work, right? So these people are actively seeking work immediately. Your city and state local government will also help you to place them, right? A lot of people don't know that your city and state government will help you place workers at your site, and they will do it quickly. And wherever city you're located, I'm in New York City, so we can turn right to 311 and say, hey, we need workers. They'll contact us with a worker outreach program and have somebody in your hands within 48 hours. That goes in every major city. Something else I would do is utilize your Facebook. A lot of people are on Facebook. It's not like it used to. When Facebook first came out, it was like we were all on there with, memes and funny stuff. Facebook is used half business, half personal now. So every business page, a lot of people don't know this, but you can advertise for jobs for free on Facebook. You can go right into under your business page, you can go into the jobs link, post your job ad, and Facebook will put that job ad in front of literally millions of people in your radius for free. Again, new business owner. There's nothing better than free for us. They get services done, right? So that's where I would go as well. All of the major companies that do hiring online, like Indeed and ZipRecruiter, they will all give you a free trial. So ZipRecruiter, when I used their free trial, I literally got 3 employees out of that before my trial was up. They're also they're a behemoth in the job search, just like Indeed. Indeed will give you a 30-day free trial, to sign up and try to use them. And if I needed people immediately, that's what I would go to. For me, ZipRecruiter is number 1. They send people to me faster than Indeed. And Indeed's candidates seem to be more qualified initially, but ZipRecruiter puts more viable people in front of me faster.
Wow, you cover some stuff I didn't even know. We personally never knew you can do, which is go onto the government stuff, look up your state, your city, and then contact the proper people. And is there an exact website that somebody can search up, or what exactly?
For New York City, it's nyc.gov, but in any city you are, it's your state.gov. So if you're in, Pennsylvania, pennsylvania.gov will lead you around to the site that you need to go to in order to do that. And as soon as you get to your government website, in your search bar, just put employee hiring. Employer hiring. And it'll lead you directly to an area where the state can provide you with people who can work. The state will even go so far as to let you, in New York City before COVID, I used to do, I would take interviews at the Adam Clayton Powell Jr. building, because that is where the state issued their help from. And they would actually let me use their offices to interview. This was before I had an office. So it made me look very professional to have a space to actually go and sit down and interview in. So it's just a good look all around. And your government services are free. And they want to have, it is in the government's best interest to get their unemployed people working. So they will support you as the business owner for free in order for that to happen. Just remembering being a job seeker, right? So before I owned my business, I've had numerous desk jobs, administrative jobs. I remember when I would look for jobs, where were we being pulled at? Where were all of the applicants going? What one space were they going when they needed a job? Before I was working, like I said, I was making $12 an hour on a desk job. In New York City, that is not enough to survive anywhere. So I had to start coming up with other ideas and options on, where can I get workers? What can I do at the lowest cost to me? So the mindset for me when thinking in that is think like a worker. Where are we at? Where can I find workers at? And how can I get to them without having to spend top dollar? So that's what we come around to the government, because the government the government is, for a lot of people don't know, but the government can be your biggest client and your biggest helper if you know how to utilize that. So like I said, every state has a bank of people that they need to get back to work, and they'll help you to get them to work if it's through your business. Again, what led me to that mindset was just remembering being an employee, remembering looking for a job, and remembering exactly what happened after I claimed my unemployment. They would say, okay, you have to go down to the unemployment office. I said, okay, workers are at the unemployment office.
Boom.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's what kind of led me around to that kind of thinking.
And I'm glad that you broke down that mindset, because so many people are in here, they get confused of like solving their own problems. As business owners, Shireen probably this morning alone solved a dozen problems within her business, even if you're at a high level. There's problems no matter if you're here where you're starting out or you're doing very, very well in business. But the great thing is, though, I rather have problems when my business is doing well than have problems that, you know, cause me to not be stressed financially or whatever else, right? So they're always going to be a problem. Life's hard. You get to choose what type of hard you want, right? So I'm glad you broke down the mindset thing, because a lot of the stuff we're covering today is a lot of logistics, right? Do this, do that. But I want to go deeper into like, why should you do that? Like, what helped you kind of like switch that mindset to go on, okay, cool, I got to go search for solutions?
What made me switch my mindset was failing. You know what I mean? Failure. And a lot of people are scared to fail. You don't want people to see you fail. You don't want to look stupid. Go do it.
Do it! Just do it!
Because the best thing that's going to come out of failure is going to be that, okay, that didn't work. Stop pursuing that route. Whatever you're doing this way is not right and it's not working. Do something different. Always takes me back to the idea of insanity. If I keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result, I am literally a psycho. So failure led me around to changing my mindset. And also just thinking that, okay, I'm no longer the employee. It is my responsibility for this whole business to turn around. So I have to start thinking about it from way up there instead of, you know what I mean, whatever my regular mindset was before that.
If Shireen is able to surround herself with great people, have us here at Scale My Cleaning Business work with her. And when we started working, Shireen came to us literally questioning like what she got to do to grow her business. And she tried so many different things. And I literally remember to the T how, you know, our relationship started and why it's lasted so long. It's number one, when Shireen reached out to us, she realized she needed help. We had a solution, right? So then we started working together. And then within like a week, Shireen got somebody to work with, and she's like, all right, I'm with you guys.
I turned over about every lead. That first week, I was so excited working with you guys. I got like 6 commercial leads, and it was when I really like pinned down and was like, I only want commercial. You know, or not I only want, but I'm only gonna go after commercial. And those first walkthroughs that you guys booked, I landed those jobs. Boom, 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 boom. I think one of them was advanced dermatology, a client that I still have now. So just seeing how that worked, I was like, whoa. And that's what's, you know, kept me excited and a part of the program for years to come. And this is why I genuinely want to return that. What you said is right. Karma, energy. So the reason that I preach on walkthroughs so much is to see somebody personally so you can exchange energy with them. Like, I'm a high energy person. People get that immediately when you're around me. My energy is like a buzzsaw. I'm happy. I'm like, you know what I mean? So that catches with people. You get around people, you put out good energy, you put out good intention on what you're looking to do with your business. Yes, we're looking to make money with our business, but that is an aside. The first thing we're doing is creating jobs within our community. You've got people who depend on you. You're bringing a service to your vendor partners, which is completely necessary right now. You know what I mean? And once you deliver on all of those, the money will come. You won't be able to stop it.
Look at all the money that you've made. Every single dollar that came into your life is to an impact. Like no matter what you think it is.
That I've solved.
Yes, 100%. And that problem that you solved helped somebody else. Why we're covering hiring and why you really, really need to understand how to hire, where to hire, who to hire is when you're doing this stuff, it allows you to make an impact, not only into your business, but somebody else's lives by hiring them and giving them an opportunity.
Something that you've scripted, right? Don't freestyle it. Write down what does your ideal cleaner look like? Where do they live? Do they have another job? What is their attitude? What is their experience? Once you have that in front of you, written down, when you know what you're going for every single time, that's what the first thing I would say is don't wing it. Make sure that you sit down and put together what's important to you. Sit down and figure out what your core values are. Your core values are going to determine every aspect of your business, starting with hiring, because that says, who do you want to hire? What type of person do you want to hire? And what qualities should they be bringing to the team? Once you've answered those questions for yourself, that's going to make the interview process a bit easier for you because you know what you want. It's like, if you're going, it's a Friday. Unfortunately, I have no life. I don't go out. But if you were the type of person who go out and party, you would take out your outfit last night for whatever you were going to wear tonight. Or if you were going to the mall, you know, I want to wear a black dress. Just that information allows you to say, okay, I'm specifically shopping at Neiman Marcus. I know they have black dresses, right? It's the same way with going for an employee. I need someone that lives within 20 minutes of Manhattan. I know that it automatically eliminates the people who don't. I need someone with a flexible schedule that can work 8 a.m. at any times between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday. If you know, that makes it simpler for me to find exactly what I'm looking for. If I know exactly what I'm looking for, it helps me line up what I want to say and what I need to know from people, and have the same set of questions for everyone so that the first time you do it, you're going to bumble. You're going to look stupid. You're going to forget some questions. You may not ask what you want, but it's like practicing. It's like free throws. Of course, they're not going to be great, but if you hit the gym every day and keep doing it, at some point, you're going to be amazing. It's the same with interviewing. You'll suck on your first interview. Don't put too much thought into it. Write your questions down, ask them what you want to know, try to make a personal connection so you can get a feel for what kind of person you are dealing with, and move on to the next one.
I love it. But I know in the beginning, for you specifically as well, you probably looked at yourself on how you were servicing these jobs. Where were you at? What were you doing? How did you approach it? And then use yourself an example to backtrack some of the qualities, right? Distance. Do you have a car? Yes, no, maybe. If you don't have a car, you travel by a bus. Can this person that you're about to hire also travel by a bus, right? And you start breaking yourself down because you're the first employee, right? So some of the things you cover are
I love that mentality. Stuff. I didn't even think of it like that, but yes, you are your first employee. Where are most of your cleanings? That's where you need your cleaner to live. How do you get to and from work on time? That's how you need your cleaner to operate. You know, what is your standard of operations? That's how you need your cleaner to operate. That is an amazing, I never thought of it like, yes, we are our first employees.
100%. There's a saying, a business can only go so far as the leader, right? And you as your business and as the first employee, you are your first leader. You are your leader. This is what makes business so hard. And why working a 9 to 5 is so enticing for a lot of people is because as a leader, you got to show up when you don't want to show up. You got to do interviews when you don't want to do interviews. Oh, client calls you, there's a problem.
Phone call, even if you don't want to talk to them.
Agreed. And as an employee, you get to give that to somebody else and say, hey, as a manager, isn't your job to do this? A manager go, hey, as the owner, aren't you supposed to talk to them? And a lot of people always say this, ready? They're like, well, you know, my owner, right? Why is he not in the office working? Why is he out here traveling? And I'm like, well, if the business ends tomorrow, where are you going to go? Find another job. He has to now deal with bankruptcy, deal with clients, deal with all these negativity that can come from it. This is a switch you guys need to make, which is try to like figure out how to no longer think like somebody who's working a 9 to 5, right?
Yeah.
Think like a problem solver. So when I brought up like, hey, Shireen, like think about it, like your first employee is you. Now backtrack what you can do. I've now pretty much discovered a problem and solved it for myself because I understood that if I was an employee, I would have just went out and you know, asked for help, or I would have went out and, you know, try to ask my manager, right? Be dependent. When in reality, I have a saying, which is you have all the answers to all the questions you have. It just might not be the right answer. This is where education.
Get with someone who has done it before. Get with someone who, you know, has walked that path. They can give you one drop of information that will save you time, that will help you create a better process. Like something I'd say too, man, if I would have got with you guys in 2016 when I started my business.
Right.
So that goes straight into our onboarding process, which includes information. The most powerful thing, I'm so sorry, it's a little loud out here. The most powerful thing we can do is keep our prospective employees fully informed about what is going to happen, right? So, men, you're hired. I'm shaking your hand. You start tomorrow. What to expect from me? A welcome email with a video. Hi, my name is Shireen Dickens. I'm the owner of the Finishing Touch NYC. Thank you so much for joining my team. Here's why I'm glad to have you. Reasons number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here's what to expect from us on a daily basis. Here's what to expect on a weekly basis. Here is what your first day of work will look like. Here is what your training will look like. Here is when your training is done. So completely informed, right? That's going to eliminate a lot of issues that you're going to have with new employees. I used to hire employees, they had no clue what they were walking into. Don't know where you're going, don't know what you're doing. You don't know anything about me except for the fact that I probably gave you a business card yesterday at a random store with an address and told you to show up. Mm-hmm. That's what makes the employer-employee process daunting, is because we don't know what's going on. I don't know about you. You've taken an interview with me, Min, but as in with every interview process, you put your best foot forward, so I think you're amazing, right? You don't know anything about me or my company. And this is where I step in with information to make you more knowledgeable and comfortable. Someone who knows, after I've shook your hand and I just say, okay, come tomorrow at 9, no more information. You're like, or I shake your hand and say, come in tomorrow at 9, check your email for our videos that will show you exactly what's gonna happen when you come in. Check your email. I've sent you a correspondence that has your first day schedule, your training schedule, your contact information of all of our supervisors, your contact information for the job sites you're gonna be on. Once I've hit you with that full pamphlet of info, you're like, all right, this is a respectable business, a well-informed business. This is a real business. One thing I tell cleaning owners a lot, we have a high turnover with cleaners. A lot of the times, you're the problem. I'm pointing to me. You're the problem. You have not set up an environment that made your cleaner comfortable, informed about what you're doing, understanding what business you run or how you run it or what's important to you. They don't know any of that. They just know you want them to work. That's not enough. You're going to lose people like that. So just to recap, once I shake your hand, I need to have you fully informed about everything that's about to happen with you from day one to day in. So I had to understand that I need to present a better offer. What helped me was to go back and think about what my dream job was back when I thought I would be a desk worker forever. It was with an accounting company called KPMG. I thought I would be an accountant for them, right? And I had to think, why did that look like such a dream job for me? They presented benefits. They made it seem like they know and care about their employees. They informed you fully what was going to happen. If you start work with KPMG, we're going to assign you 10 clients. We're going to assign you an advisor who's going to train you. You're going to receive 5 weeks paid vacation, $18 per hour. Like, they laid out point for point what was going to happen. And that's what made me say, oh, okay, that's why they were my dream job. So now become the dream job. So now provide a space where they feel respected, taken care of, and that you care enough about them and your company to inform them exactly what's going on, to keep them well informed, to keep them in the know about everything. They will turn around and respect you and your business more, which then leads to less turnover, better workers. Less turnover and better workers equals more contracts for you. Bottom line.
If you want to go far, build a team, right? Build a team and go far. If you want to go and somewhere fast and you want to do it very short term, go by yourself, work a job, right? The fastest way to be financially free is to go get a job. But what they don't tell you is it doesn't come with time freedom. It doesn't come with every other else freedom, right? Everything else that you want to do, but it does come up with financial freedom. You do make good money working a job, right? Don't get that wrong. You can find a great working job.
Working a job.
There's nothing wrong with it. But if you want a life full of being able to travel, do cool things, give back, it's going to require you to take, I would honestly say, one of the biggest risks of your life is to start a business, is to make hard decisions, right? And then understanding that people that come to work for you, the only people that are okay with you giving them a little bit and allowing them to do a lot are typically entrepreneurs, typically business owners. We're the only people that can be like, okay, show up, but not know what to do. But when it comes to an employee, somebody that you're hiring to be part of your team, you have to give them a roadmap, guide them, right? And that's the only reason why they want to work with you, because they want guidance. They want a way of working and making consistent money so they can pay their bills, help their family, and do what they love, right? You know what I mean? So if you feel like giving information to your employees are too much and you don't want to no, they want that, right? You're the business owner. You're supposed to act and feel. Sometimes I feel lost. I know sometimes you might feel lost, right? Even if you're at this, because we're always trying to get
at every level. It's going to be a hard, like you said, you're going to choose your heart. Whoever 100%. Told you it was going to be easy lied. Videos. Find some training videos and create them. A lot of people are visual learners. You can sit and talk to someone for 10 hours, or you can show them a picture. That picture will resonate with them a lot more. So in your training, make sure you have pictures of exactly what you expect to happen. Find videos. YouTube is a great place. Find some videos that line up with exactly what you want your cleaners to do. I'll have them watch some videos. Then I will have them shadow my team lead or cleaners that I already have. After the shadowing period, then they will be shadowed by the team lead. Then they will be tested on their knowledge. That process is going to work every time. Video, shadow, be shadow, tested. Okay.
Boom.
Video gives them a visual idea of what you want to happen. Shadow gives them a real life idea of what you want to happen. Being shadowed allows them to make mistakes, and for your team lead or yourself to step in and say, hey, this is the right way or the wrong way. And then testing at the end of that process, make sure that everything has resonated.
I'm not even going to say you got to work with us, right? You can succeed without working with us. There's more than enough information out there for you as a business owner to absolutely crush it in business with or without Scale My Cleaning Business. But all I can say is this. I can confidently say from the bottom of my heart, nobody in this industry want to see you win, want to see you grow, and want to help you as much as we do here at Scale My Cleaning Business, right? I am telling you this from the bottom of my heart. We're not perfect, and nobody is perfect, but we will give it our all when it comes to helping you grow. There's been many times where we work with Shireen's where there's things that we had to adjust. There's many things that we had to pivot to make work, even during COVID, right? But guess what? We're a business. We solve problems, and there's going to be endless amount of problems, right? Shireen, any last words for people watching today's live, either live or in replay, before we go out and enjoy the rest of our Friday? I know myself and you are probably going to be working, but any last words for everybody?
Thanks for listening in. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you just deal with your mindset first. A lot of our problems as business owners start from within. It's usually an issue of mindset. Figure out your why and go from there. You know what I mean? And take on the mindset of your CEO as opposed to being your employee. And we start out as our own employees, so that's going to be a hard transition for us, but work on that daily and it will show up in every other aspect of your business.